Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back again in our subject, public speaking. So, our topic today is speaking to inform. I pick our topic today from our book reference. The title is The Art of Public Speaking by Stephen A. Lucas. And then you already downloaded for our beginning meeting in this subject. I hope that my explanation today about our topic it will be helpful to you to understand about speaking to inform. This is really interesting topics because in this moment we think and speak about giving information to others need so many preparation. Based on this book, Stephen already divided into two about speaking to inform. I already wrote on the whiteboard. Here it is. Okay. Based on this one, you have 2 points. The first point is types and informative speeches, analysis and organization. And then 2, this one, guidelines for informative speaking. So we focus on first point. You have 4. Okay, A, B, C, D. A, okay. Speeches about the objects. B, speeches about the processes. C, speeches about events. And then D, speeches about concepts. So, we focus for every part in this section. So, the first speeches for objects. Okay, as we know that the information that we deliver to someone else, it concludes so many aspects. The one of the aspect is the object. For example, like for nowadays, in the pandemic era, everyone knows about the COVID-19. So we take this for our example. So COVID-19 is as our object to deliver or to speaking to inform. So for every part in the speeches for objects, processes, events, and then about the concepts, for these types need the chronological order. So the chronological order, it makes the information can catch directly, easily to the audiences. So based on the chronological order system, you have 3 points to develop, including in the speech. The first one, you need the specific purpose. The second one, you need the central idea. And then the third one, you need main points. If I said before, if we are talking about the COVID-19, this is really bored to giving to the audience. So we make it the specific in terms of the COVID-19. For example, like this, I take the COVID-19 will be more specific. For example, how to maintain our body with this pandemic or with the COVID-19. This is more specific take from the COVID-19. So we use chronological order. The first one that I said before, specific purpose. So in the specific purpose, to inform my audience about the tips how to maintain our health with the COVID-19. So the next one is the central idea. COVID-19 have some problem to our environment. So to maintain our health with the COVID-19, you have three steps to do with yourself. So the main points, I explain about the three kinds or the three steps to maintain our health with this pandemic era. Of course, especially for COVID-19. The first one is I explain about keep healthy. That means every day you need some exercise in a simple way you can do for every day, even only take a short time, but it should be regularly. For example, like a little exercise that up and down on the stairs, and then you walking in at home, and then do a simple thing to clean up your house. The point is you do a simple movement that you can easy and regularly doing every day. And then the second one is prepare about what you eat, because you have some information about the COVID-19, because we had 2 years the pandemic era in the COVID-19 problems. So you need your immune in your body. So this immune comes from the food. So you should prepare by yourself to prepare about your food at home. Eat so many vegetables and fruits. And then the third step is make it a minimal contact with human. So this is not easy to get a minimal contact with the human or others, because every day we get the communication with someone else. But for now, the media to communicate with others cannot be touch each other, but we should change with another media. So that's why so many campaign about social distancing. So this is the simple example of speeches for objects. Next, B. This is about speeches for events. I think that the procedures, this is the same procedures, but we make chronological order. That I said to you, you have 3 points. So in the speeches for events, events, that means you have some story about something, so you want to giving this information to someone else. So I have some example based on this our book reference. For example, okay, this is about Japanese garden. I know that you already know about this Japanese garden, but how we make it these topics to be informative to someone else. So we use chronological order. As I said before, you have 3 points: the specific purpose, the central ideas, and then the main points. Based on this Stephen E. Lucas book, the example about events, the specific purpose is to inform my audience about the 4 major elements of a Japanese garden. So that's the specific purpose for events. So next, the central idea, the 4 major elements of a Japanese garden are stones, sand, water, and plants. So in this central idea, you mention what you mentioned it before in the specific purpose. So this is the next plan after you explain about the specific purpose. And then about the main points. The main points, after you explain central idea, the main points, you explain in detail the 4 elements that you already said in the central idea. Okay, this is the example. First, the first elements of a Japanese garden is stones, which symbolize mountains and islands. Okay? And then next, the second element of a Japanese garden is sand, which symbolize the sea or other vast areas. The third element of a Japanese garden is water, which symbolizes purity and life. And then this is the last part in main points. The fourth element of a Japanese garden is plants, which they symbolize life and the changing seasons. So here it is, the example speeches for events. You need the chronological order. Okay, next, point C, speeches about the processes. If we are talking about the processes, in our mindset, we catch the information should be explained about step by step and etc. So I take the example from our book reference. So the example speeches for processes, for example, like traditional from the India, the name is traditional Bengali. Okay, so here the example of speeches for processes, chronological order. The first one, specific purpose, to inform my audience about the major rituals of a traditional Bengali wedding in India. Okay, this is the area of the purpose. So, focus on the traditional Bengali wedding in India. Next, the central idea. A traditional Bengali wedding consists of a series of rituals that take place before, during, and after the wedding ceremony. So, in the central idea takes 3 points: before, during, and after. Okay, so you can catch this information directly. So these processes needs explanation for each processes. Okay, next, the main points. Okay, the main points, this is the explanation after you say about the central idea. Okay, first, this is about the pre-wedding rituals, include giving gifts to the bride and the groom and dressing the bride in traditional fashion. Okay. 2. Rituals during the wedding ceremony include an exchange of garlands between the bride and groom, the chanting of mantras, and the giving away of the bride for her uncle. Okay, and then the third step is post-wedding rituals include a celebration at the home of the bride's family, a reception at the home of the groom's family, and the formal exit of the bride and groom. So, start from the specific purpose and then the central idea and then the main points. The 3 types is connected each other and continuity. So, that's about speeches for processes. So the last point is about the speeches about events. Okay, speeches about the events. This is talking about, it can be like mountain climbing, about job interview, about the tsunamis, and etc. So, for example, like this is about the sport, one of the sport, kind of the sport. The name of about the Paralympics. So this is one of the events for sports to do about so many kinds of the sport. So the name of Paralympics. So we need the chronological order again. Based on this reference, specific purpose is to inform my audience about the history of the Paralympics. So the point is the history of Paralympics. The next one, central idea. Olympic-style games for athletes with physical disabilities have made a great strides. The first competition more than 60 years ago. So, we can take the point from this central idea. So, the Paralympic, this is for disabilities athletes. So, the next main points, continue with the central idea. The main point is, 1. What would eventually become the Paralympic began in 1948 with a sports competition in Great Britain involving World War II veterans with spinal cord injuries. 2. In 1952, the event expanded when athletes from the Netherlands took part. And then the first official Paralympic Games for international athletes took place in Rome in 1960. So, because this is the area about the events, so we need so many history behind of the speech. The history is one of the data to inform for our information about the events. Okay, the next one is speeches about the concepts. This is about concept of something that we want to deliver with someone else. For example, like this one. Chronological order again, and the specific purpose, this is the example. To inform my audience of the basic principle of Islam. Okay, so the topic is Islam. So to make a specific purpose, so we continue to the central idea. The central idea, the beliefs of Islam can be traced to the Prophet Muhammad, are written in the Quran, and have produced a number of sects. So that's the central idea after you explain about the specific purpose about Islam. Main points, you have 3 points here. First, Islam was founded by the Prophet Muhammad in the early 900s. So 2, the teaching of Islam are written in the Quran, the holy book of Islam. 3, today, Islam is divided into a number of sects, the largest of which are the Sunnis and the Shiites. Okay, so that's about the main points. So, if we are talking about the concept, that means you have a general concept, but you should deliver or to share the information, the general with the specific. So you need some chronological order to make it the larger into the specific. So here they are the example of types, analysis, and organization about informative speech. So the next one is guidelines. Okay, based on this one, the guidelines for informative speaking, you have A, B, C, D, E points. Okay, the first one is don't overestimate what the audience knows. I can say this one that sometimes in our mind to be as a speaker, we have the idea that our audience really understand what we say. So in these guidelines, the first guidelines, don't overestimate what the audience knows. So we as a speaker should know the situation and the condition with the audience. We should think first, if we want to deliver about the topic to someone else, to the audiences, we should explain a little bit about the topic is before we explain in detail. Okay, the function or the main points why we should explain a little bit about the topics at the beginning. This is helpful to the audience give full attention what we say during we conduct or deliver the information to the audience. So that's so really interested guidelines about the speaking to inform. And then second one is relate the subject directly to the audience. Relate the subject directly to the audience. Sometimes as a speaker, we talk too much, not relate with the subject. It's like we as a speaker are really enjoying the situation, and sometimes we forget to come back again with our subject. Okay, so that's the good guidelines to be as a speaker about to reminder to the speaker to relate the subject directly to the audience. This happens when we or a speaker explain about the theory and then about or something. After that, the speaker give the example. So sometimes when the speaker explain about the example, this is too much, and then sometimes miss for to relate the subjects. So this is based on my experiences. I think to be as a public speaker, this is not cannot take only one time and then the perfect and the result is perfect. No, you should so many practices, practice for another time to get more experiences, and then you can enjoy and then you can comfortable to speak in front of many people. Next, the third guidelines to be as informative speech. Don't be too technical. Don't be too technical. I can say or comment with this area. The point is, you can be serious, and then you can do so many procedure or planning, including in public speaking knowledge. But you should think that sometimes our audiences are bored to hear all of the explanation. So you need a little bit of space for you inserted some jokes, for example, during you delivering the speech in front of many people. So I think that I know that jokes is not the point on the procedure of delivering speech, but I think this is two tips, tricks to handle the emotional, the audience to hearing our explanation. So that's really interesting to take some practices about the jokes. Next, avoid abstraction. Avoid abstraction. Sometimes that I said before that not all the audience can directly understand what we say. So if the information that we say, some of the items are abstract, so you should explain in detail or giving more example to help the audiences understand what we say indirectly. Because if we are only talking about the theory without the practice or without the examples, this is make a gap between you and your audiences. So these guidelines, one of the item is to reminder us as a speaker to flashback or to come back again from the what the audiences wants. Okay, and then this is I think this is the last guidelines. This is the last but not least, the personalize your ideas. So you know that we have so many public speaker in Indonesia or in the worldwide. So sometimes you can decide, oh, I like this public speaker, I like she, I like he, or blah blah blah. And then sometimes you can get connected directly with she or he, because a speaker has a characteristic with their own character. So that's why from these last guidelines, personalize your ideas. That means you have some your self character to build the delivering speaking more comfortable to the audiences. So that's why the audiences sometimes really enthusiastic. No, I mean sometimes a little bit bored to listen your speech, because if we talking about the speech, our mindset will be like, oh, it's so bored. But if we are talking, another one is watching movie, so everyone, the mindset will be like, huh, this is a good time to spend a lot of time to watch a movie. But if we compare with, oh, this is time to listening the speech or to following the speech, oh, maybe someone or some people get bored for the first time when they hear speech. Okay, so that's why this is a challenging for us as a speaker to prepare more about how to be a good public speaking. Okay, I think that's all for today about our topic, speaking to inform. I need you to share so many. I need you to practice after you study about points by points theory on the public speaking. Thank you so much for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.